one simple question for you all. If you are traveling at light speed and you turn on the headlights of the rockets, what happens? Do you see the lights in front of you? Are the lights behind you? Are you traveling with the lights like it's on your side? What happens? These are just the questions to think about, and the questions that over there at NASA are also trying to figure out. Also, raise your hand if you have asked your parents a question about space before. Okay. Did you know about 86% of the kids in the world have asked a question about space to their parents? Did you also know about 50% reportedly love learning about space? But despite all of that, only 11% of the kids in the world want to be an astronaut. I first became interested in space when I watched Interstellar. The movie was really good. It was amazing. It captivated me with the visuals, like the black holes, all of that, the cinematography. Interstellar is just overall one of the best movies I've ever seen. But what truly motivated me to make a speech about this was when I was doing research for my English paper. When I did a research paper over this on English, and I realized there's a lot of problem with space that a lot of y'all don't realize, and it could affect every single one of y'all without you even realizing it. Oh, I missed the second slide. Okay, next slide. Why space exploration is bad. Next slide. There's a reason why only 11% of kids want to be an astronaut, and if you understand the reasons why, then that 11% will make sense. Next. When rockets are launched into space, they deplete the ozone layer of the Earth. The ozone layer is basically the layer that protects us from the harmful UV rays of the sun. Okay, sorry. And if y'all know, if y'all been on the beach for 2 to 3 hours, y'all know how bad the UV rays get. It hurts your skin. It causes skin cancer. It definitely causes sunburns. So the ozone layer is pretty important to us. And when the rockets are in space, they use a chlorine-based fuel, and that chlorine-based fuel, when it gets released into the ozone layer, it breaks down the ozone molecules, causing it to deplete, basically. So that's why rockets are bad for the atmosphere. Also, rockets burn kerosene and release carbon. Kerosene is basically a liquid derived from oil and petroleum. It's used in candles, used in lamps, used in the stove things, the fire things. I don't know what it's called, the fire pops up. I don't know what it's called, but I just call it a stove.
It is a stove.
It is a stove? Okay.
A gas stove, yes.
And yeah, it's also a mix in the gasoline that's used in cars. So that's it's used a lot. So and that contributes to the global warming, air pollution, stuff like that, greenhouse gases. And did you know that the rockets also, one rocket launch uses about as much gasoline as 22 cars would? Yeah, that's a lot of gas. And in 2 centuries, 920 metric tons of carbon is released from cars purely, just from cars. So now imagine that if we added rockets into that number would skyrocket to 1,000 metric tons, maybe even more. Next slide, please. On the topic of carbon emissions, it goes on perfectly into my next slide. There are more important problems here on Earth. Next. Climate change is a major issue here on Earth, and there was data taken from satellite images that showed that the Amazon rainforest has shrunk 17%. It also revealed that there are more carbon emissions than carbon being absorbed. So basically, there's always going to be carbon on Earth if we don't if nothing changes. Sorry. And then yeah. So basically the carbon, it's always going to grow, it's growing at a steady rate, and we are doing nothing to stop that rate. The most valuable rainforest, housing 30% of the world's animal species, storing 76 billion tons of carbon, is slowly dying. And if we don't do that, then the global warming will just, global warming will stay a problem on Earth for as long as we live. Next slide. There was a study done by the can y'all believe this? The NASA sea level team at the University of Hawaii. There's a whole NASA team calculating sea level, even though they're the National Aeronautics and Space Association. So make that make sense. It revealed that the country will soon become prone to an increase in number of floods. And as you can see here, that's just one flood. Do y'all know what that is? That's Hurricane Harvey. That's what it looked like just for Houston. So all the coastal cities will, did y'all know that 3 of the top 5 most populated cities are coastal cities? New York, Los Angeles, and Houston. They're the 3 most populated cities in America. And if we, sorry. Oh, coastal cities are likely to get an increase in number of floods due to rising sea levels. So basically, this could be multiplied by like 5 if nothing changes. And why would we spend money and resources on traveling to space when we need to worry about the people here on Earth and worry about the human population? So now that you know why space exploration is catastrophic, we need to make it known. We need to tell the government, tell everybody that space isn't as important as us, like the humans, as people. We are more important than what's happening out in space. There's nothing to gain out there, so we should just focus on us and focus on the Earth here.